everyone, and welcome to The Ride Home. Today, I wanted to spend some time talking about self-image. What this means and looks like from a child to an adult. What it looks like you versus society. And even the perception that you have of you. So let's start at the beginning. Even before we are born, self-image is already being created. Our parents start to create a mental image of what we will look like, who we will be, the personalities that we may or may not have. Self-image begins long before we take our first breath and ends long after we're even gone. At the very beginning of civilization, man began to become self-aware through self-image, first spotting that self-reflection in the water, curious and not knowing what it meant, who they were, and really undefined by society. They were just a reflection, a shallow image of oneself. That was it. Now we fast forward to present time and think of ourselves as adults. And many times we witness the first time that a baby is held up to a mirror. And we step back in awe and wonder as we see that baby, that child, that toddler go through that analyzation of seeing themselves for the first time in a mirror. It's interesting enough that somehow they know that it is them. They recognize themselves without really have never seen who they are before. For adults, it's a moment of wonder, of innocence, to see someone discover themselves for the first time with so much curiosity and no judgment at all. Sadly enough, as adults, we also realize that we'll never remember what that felt like. That memory is stored completely in our unconscious. We as adults can see that in a child, but as a child, we will never consciously keep that memory into adulthood. It is lost. It is forgotten. As we begin to gain consciousness and we begin to understand that we are individuals, the reflection that we see in the mirror changes over time. Oddly enough, the image that we see in the mirror changes because the perspective changes. But we don't stop looking at the mirror for a different reason other than one reason. We walk by a mirror and stop and check. We're about to leave the house and we look in the mirror before we step out. We're about to walk into an interview, maybe even a date, and we look in the mirror. And we do it for one reason. To look for what to correct, what to fix. We aren't looking in the mirror like we did when we were an infant, when we were a child, in awe and wonderment of who we are. We look at the mirror for some kind of flaw. Is there a hair out of place? Is my makeup right? Does this outfit look good? All of this tends to be a reflection or a reaction to the pressure that we live by, that we create. And I do say we because we all play a part in society. We are society. We establish the normalization of whatever it may be, and over time that has changed. What was once accepted no longer is accepted. And it is continuously changing. What is on trend or fashionable changes. What is seen as shallow or superficial changes. Nonetheless, we look in that mirror for acceptance of society. So we're constantly making sure that we work hard at fitting in, losing our own self-identity. We look in the mirror for what others will find acceptable. Which takes me to that third point that we were going to discuss. Looking in the mirror through the perception of yourself. What do you see in the mirror when you look? And what are you really looking at? What are you looking at and what are you looking for? I think everybody has this idea that there's something that needs to be fixed or corrected, or something that we struggle with, that we're continuously looking in the mirror at, even when no one has said anything. Our self-esteem and our self-image is built upon that reflection that we have of ourselves. Oddly enough, that reflection is not based on what you're seeing in the mirror. Most studies show that the reflection that you see is an accurate perception of what you see in your mind. What you think you look like is translated into the mirror. So the next time you look at yourself in the mirror, ask yourself one thing. Is this what I truly look like? Or is this what I think I look like? The thing that I feel I need to fix, is it truly something I can visually see needs to be improved upon? Or is it something that I am telling myself needs to be improved upon? I will say that we have very little conversations with ourselves in front of a mirror. And when we do, those conversations are usually not very kind. We have, however, found a way to create the perfect self-image. The selfie. You know, when you look up the definition of the selfie is considered a distorted portrait of ourselves. Let's break that apart. A distorted portrait of ourselves. How many times do you take on a head-on selfie versus finding the right angle? Whether it's holding the phone up high or bringing it low. Turning just to the right angle where you perceive yourself to be the best. Hence it being distorted. It is your perception of what you feel is the right image. It's what builds your confidence, your self-esteem. It is when you feel the best. Often enough, the selfie has become the #1 choice of portrait anytime we present ourselves through a resume, on social media, a dating app. We've come a long way from the first time humans became self-aware through their reflection in a water, with no predetermination of what that reflection should be, and with very little value to it, to now everyone taking at least one selfie a day. At least one. Sometimes it's shared, sometimes it's not. Self-image is not only the external portrayal of who we are and how we think society sees us, but it is very much an internal reflection of how we see ourselves. And to quote Dr. Maxwell Maltz, what you believe is the only truth. No matter what society determines to be the norm, no matter what your parents tell you is your best quality, no matter what your friends, loved ones, husband, wives, boyfriend, girlfriend, brothers, sisters, your closest confidant tell you to be your best feature, none of it is true. The only truth in self-image is the one you choose to believe. I often talk about self-reflection, and this video is designed for that very particular reason. Stop, pause, take some time to think before you see, and ask yourself, what do I choose to believe about myself? What do I choose to think about my self-image? Who am I when I look in the mirror? And is it someone that I want to fix? Or is it someone that I embrace and that I love and that I am proud of? We all have something to be proud of. There is no such thing as a completely flawed person. We are all by human nature flawed. But we are also by life itself a wonder. May the next time you look in the mirror be with that gaze of a child, with wonder, with the curiosity to discover who you are, and with a blank canvas of possibilities of who you can be. Everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to today's video. As always, it is a pleasure creating these for you all. Don't forget to hit like if you liked, share with someone you think would find value in this. If you've not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, your thoughts, comments, ideas are always appreciated in the comment box. I'll put mine in my comment box as well as what do you see when you look in the mirror. Everyone, have a great day. And as always, I will see you on the ride home.